Hello, folks. You are tuned in to another episode of Listen in 3D. I'm your boy Justin, aka Too Tall for You Fool.
And I'm Ray, aka Vandal Society.
And together we are both Team 3D, the host of Listen in 3D, where we discuss, dissect, and debate the music and albums in the world of hip hop and other genres. Like what you're seeing, like this video. Make sure you give it a comment, share it around, and most importantly, please subscribe. Want to help us out when you do subscribe? Click on that notification bell. That way, you know when all our videos and reels or shorts, whatever you want to call them, go live. All right, all right. So I know it's been a minute since we've had another episode to you guys, but we're in the lab working, trying to get out as much content to you as possible.
Staying busy.
Yeah, yeah, and as often as possible, also. But I think I selected something pretty good today for us to, discuss, dissect, and debate. So, growing up, I mean, before we get into it, was this like one of your uh like movies that you'd watch like in the '90s, or like this certain genre of movies? Like when it came to movies, like what was like your favorite genre of movies?
In the 90s, I would say a lot of comedy,
Mm,
some action, a little bit of horror.
all right.
Um, but this one in particular, man, so the actors in this movie are ones I grew up watching on TV shows, and they were funny to me. But
Uh,
I never came around to watching the movie, which is a trip because I like both actors,
yeah, they're
Both
both.
are pretty,
Yeah,
yeah, pretty solid in the comedy department.
yeah. So let's get into this. What soundtrack are we doing today?
So today we're going to be discussing the Bad Boys soundtrack from the motion picture Bad Boys. It was released March 21st in 1995 through Work Records, which is a sub-label of Sony. It's certified platinum, peaked at number 13 top R&B and hip hop albums, and number 26 on Billboard 200. The singles are Diana King, Shy Guy, Keith Martin, Never Find Someone Like You, Warren G, So Many Ways, and John B, Someone to Love featuring Babyface. For the music videos, it's the same as the singles, and there's a nice featured amount of artists on this album. I'd say it's Diana King, Warren G, 69 Boys, K Knock, Tupac, Dramacito, Emanate, Keith Martin, Inni Kamoze, The Brat, Notorious B.I.G., Escape, Call of the Wild, KMFDM, Inner Circle, Tech, and Mark Mancina.
All right, thank you for that. So, yes, Bad Boys, Bad Boys, Bad Boys. What you gonna do? When you hear that, do you think the movie, or do you think the TV show Cops, or do you think the group Inner Circle?
First and foremost, I would say the TV show Cops because that was real pivotal for TV. Like reality TV, early reality TV in the '90s.
Yeah, yeah,
Like just Captain.
yeah. Shout out the Cops. I mean, I don't really watch that show that much. I mean, if I ever did watch it, it was just I was just flipping through Fox or whatever. Oh, Cops is on. Let's see what happens
Yeah,
today.
Fox.
So like,
Yeah, let's see what city are they going to visit my city today? Stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. So I
you know,
mean, I don't watch it like that now, but
yeah,
but they
but
were,
the '90s,
yeah,
yeah, in the '90s, Cops was pretty solid. It was like
yeah,
a show that was heavily watched. I'd say in the '90s.
yeah. I don't think it's
Yeah.
watched that much anymore, but yeah, definitely in the '90s. I mean, it was the
Um,
first like you said, reality TV on site show where it was like, hey, you're these guys are actually busting criminals. It was definitely
yeah.
unscripted. So,
True.
all right.
Yeah.
So, for me, um, so I watched. I have history with this movie. I do have the soundtrack. I have the CD. Unfortunately, I don't have the case anymore. Get it to my
Oh, okay.
camera,
Nice.
and I do have. I recently did get the vinyl too. I couldn't help. I couldn't resist. It was for a good price, and
Is that a test pressing?
I think
It looks like a test press.
yeah,
That's cool.
It says demonstration not for sale, so it might be a test pressing. But
Nice. That's
yeah,
cool.
the only thing is it didn't come with like a cover or anything like that. So and then it had a little bit of
Yeah.
ring wear too. So I'm probably gonna put it in like another cover later, and whenever I get some time,
Okay.
because there's this a little print shop I found on Etsy. They could print like a sticker of like your favorite album covers or whatever. So I may just do
Oh,
that
nice.
and just stick it on
Okay.
there
Yeah, that'll
later.
work.
Yeah, just make my own hype sticker for it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that'll work. That way,
yeah, I
that
did
way
it.
you know what album.
Yeah, yeah, I did it for a few of my uh coverless albums already. So it's pretty cool. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So I got that, but I mean, trying to think. So I didn't really get around to watching the movie until like middle school, like 2 years, around 2 years after it had come out.
For
And
sure.
yeah, my mom, because it was around like sixth, seventh grade when my mom finally started letting me watch R-rated movies at home anyway, not really
Okay.
in the theater yet. But yeah, when I finally saw it, I was blown away by it. It was one of the best movies I had seen during that time, and definitely cop action buddy films like that. They were pretty popular, whether it be Beverly Hills Cop, Lethal Weapon,
Rush Hour.
48 Hours. Rush Hour came a little later, but yeah, but you get what I
Oh,
mean.
that's like that.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it definitely was one of the movies that helped define that genre. Action, with comedy right there, and what better way to do it with two of the funniest actors from the 1990s and Martin Lawrence on his sitcom Martin and Will Smith from his sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So,
Yeah.
that definitely, very good. And, in terms of the music, I love how I think everything with the exception of maybe one song, with the exception of maybe one song, I think all the tracks on this CD were in the movie at some point, at one point or another. So
Okay.
yeah, so you still,
Which is kind of rare. Which is kind of rare because sometimes you'll get a soundtrack and all the songs don't even get played on the movie.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's just like maybe a quarter of them get played on the movie. Like you'll hear them in the movie.
Yeah.
You know.
So did you ever get around to watching the movie or not yet?
No, I didn't get a chance yet,
All
but
right.
yeah, I still it's on my list to watch.
All right. Cool. Have you seen any of the other Bad Boy films or?
Um, Part two, I haven't seen any of them actually. I only seen maybe 15 minutes of. I think it was the first one when I went to my friend's house one time and he had it on, and then like we pretty much left. So I was just watching it while I was waiting for him to get ready, and that's pretty much the only thing I really remember.
Uh,
Just like 10 or 15 minutes of it. Yeah,
all right. Well, I mean, I know you're a big movie guy, so definitely get around to watching it when you can. I will
for
say
sure.
this. I think um, I know they've put out two more within the last several years. I think that 17-year gap between the second one and the third one was a little. I mean, I know movie stars are busy, but one thing about the movie business I've learned: never say never. I mean, if we can get a Beverly Hills Cop 4, we could definitely get a Rush Hour
Yeah.
4 at some point, and I think they are working on that right now.
Okay.
Hopefully,
Nice.
that comes out sooner rather than later. But yeah, the second film, I think of the four that have come out, I think the second film was the worst of the four films. If you ever do get a chance to watch all four films, you can definitely discuss later, and I'll tell you why. I don't want to get into it too much since you haven't seen them. So, but
Okay.
definitely very good films, and if you haven't watched them, definitely watch them. Especially the first one. First one, especially looking back almost 30 years, a little over 30 years now. Definitely has that '90s nostalgia feel that if you guys are looking for that, you'll definitely find. So let's
Okay.
see.
Nice.
All right, so I mean that's my memories, and then let's go on album artwork. I didn't really think too much. I think I mean, I know back then, I guess it depended upon what movie. Some posters would be different for the movie as opposed to the soundtrack. The soundtrack artwork, I like how they put all the artists that were on the soundtrack on there. That kind of it was okay.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it could have just been they could have just went Bad Boys music inspired by the motion picture or music from the motion picture, and then just the three actors: Martin Lawrence, Tay Leone, and Will Smith. But it was okay. You got any thoughts on it, or you think they should have went with the movie cover? Or
No, I like the cover for this album, and I like the way they have the list of artists on there. I feel like in a way it's a marketing tactic to help um, push the soundtrack sales because you see names on there. First thing you look at, you'll see, oh, I know Notorious B.I.G. or I
yeah,
know Tupac. You know what I mean? So it might kind of help push the album as far as marketing goes. I think it's a pretty cool cover. It's it's a scene from the movie, and like the list is not too bad. It doesn't really um, obstruct anything on the cover. It
yeah.
kind of just helps add to it.
All right, that's fair enough. I know I do have the DVD. Well, I had the DVD, and then I digitized it, and then I eventually I sold it. But I know, like, if you had the, I know, like on, I think they call it Fandango at home now. There's like a different movie poster with just Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. So, um, so yeah, I
Oh,
know
okay.
that. So I know there's like a different one, but but for the most part, I mean, I know during the time that's what was used as the movie poster, and you know, pretty cool. But yeah, like I said,
Yeah,
I just thought it was pretty. I thought it would have been cool without putting all those names on there because you could always see that in the back of the CD
yeah,
or the
that's true.
vinyl. But I mean, whatever works works.
Yeah, yeah, I think it was just more like an attention getter for the viewer
Mm,
at the record store. When they pick it up, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I know this artist."
yeah.
Then they might feel more inclined to buy it or something.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. All right. So I mean, so we go into the let's get into the beats. And one thing I did like about this soundtrack is I think you would agree with me when I say this. It's a pretty diverse soundtrack. It's not exclusively hip hop and R&B. You got other industrial rock on here as well, and then a little bit of reggae. So
Yeah.
just yeah. So it was pretty cool. I mean, even though it was on the top R&B and hip hop album charts, yeah, it wasn't just exclusively hip hop and R&B. So just keep that in mind, folks. So let's see. So best beats, and when I listen to the soundtrack, I gotta think movie. So I had to go with the last track, the theme from the Bad Boys film by Mark Mancina.
Okay.
I thought that was I thought that was a great instrumental, and it set the tone for the film. First, I mean, I'm probably going to give some stuff away here when I say this. First scene from the film, when you watch it, it's the first thing that they play. So, and they play it throughout the movie
Okay.
too as well. So, yeah, it's I thought that was pretty cool. Really hit that nostalgia factor for me, so I had to go with that one. But there are some great beats on here as well. From top to bottom, I think it's greatly produced album. Great collection of tracks. What you got?
Okay. For favorite beat, so I found this song on here just from listening to it. I wasn't too familiar, but I like how the beat was. It was called "Clouds of Smoke" from Call of the Wild.
Oh, I
I
knew
thought
you'd
that
like
one
that
was a
one.
cool
I
track.
got because I'm looking at
Yeah,
the
that's
credits
my
right
style,
now.
man.
I'm looking at the credits now, and the producers, Jerome Foster, better known as Nobody, Sean C, and one of your personal favorites, DJ Muggs.
I had a feeling that they kind of had like that touch to it.
Yeah, it
I
had
didn't
that
even check the
cycle.
producer credits.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Like, oh, Ray's gonna like this song, "Clouds of Smoke."
Yeah, yeah, because you can tell by certain producers they have a signature sound to them, and the
hmm
drums on there kind of hit like a Mug style drum.
Yeah, so yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Muggs did produce. I mean, I never. I mean, I don't think I've really heard of Call of the Wild. I mean, I'm not really familiar with the work, but I mean, it definitely did have that,
Yeah,
Mug Cypress Hill like kind of feel to it.
yeah, same here. I never heard of the group Call of the Wild, but when I was going through the songs, the track list, I checked this one, and yeah, the song, the beat had me, you know, sucked in. I felt like it was a good track right there. I like the beat right there.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it was
yeah,
probably one of my favorite beats.
yeah, that was a definitely good good beat. Muggs is a great producer. One fun fact about that song, I believe it's the only song on the CD that did not appear in the film. So, and
Okay.
I'm not even sure if it's on streaming services. I'd have to double check. But I mean, this. Oh yeah, speaking of streaming services, I probably should say this soundtrack is not on streaming services. I know certain songs here or there are on it, but like, and we'll get into some of the specific songs that are on there later that I know of for sure that are not
Yeah.
on streaming services. But this is one that I feel people are missing out on, and it went platinum. Like, come on, guys. But work records. I guess it's a defunct label from Sony now, so it's like I think with stuff like that, and like we've talked about before, this is where preservation comes in. We gotta stuff like this needs to be preserved.
Yeah, true.
All right, so we got our beats out the way. So I say let's start off slow in terms of the singles. We're gonna discuss three of the
Okay.
four singles. We're not gonna just for those of you guys listening at home or watching. We won't discuss "Someone to Love." So if that was your favorite track, actually no, "Never Find Someone Like You" by Keith Martin. We're not gonna discuss that one, but the other three we will discuss. So we'll start with "Someone to Love." And this was a song that I had not heard in a very long time, and I don't know when it comes to '90s R&B, like some of those songs just hit harder than others, and it has that like big nostalgia factor. This one definitely like, oh wow, this took me back to like a time in the '90s because I heard this song a lot, and I just hadn't heard it in a minute until we started,
Okay.
wanting to listen to do this album for this episode here. I'm just like, wow, yeah, this is a very good song, and Babyface is on it too. And then you watch the music video, just like this definitely was a
In the
jam back in
90s,
the
yeah. Where would you hear that? Where would you hear that in the 90s? Was it on radio
yeah,
or?
yeah, the
'Cause I don't
radio,
recall hearing it.
yeah,
Okay.
radio, and then a little bit of the movie as well, but mainly the radio. And then slowly, when I started watching MTV, I would hear it on watch it on there as well. But I did hear it on the radio a lot.
Oh, okay.
So I think they
Yeah, because I haven't heard it before. It was like
okay.
my first time. Yeah, when I went through the soundtrack and
I want to
haven't heard the track.
say I know my mom had me listening to 94.7 The Wave. I want to say they may have played it on there because I know they do play like quite a bit of Babyface jams on there during that time. I know it's a little more R&B
Oh,
heavy now, but I know back then they would only do like maybe some R&B artists. So
yeah.
Babyface. So I think that's probably where I heard it. I wouldn't be able to tell you or pinpoint it, but I just remember hearing it a lot. I was like, oh, I hadn't heard this song jam in a minute.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
but you had never heard this one?
Uh, yeah, I haven't heard that one.
All right.
Honestly, pretty much more than half of them I haven't heard,
Okay.
except for the familiar ones.
Okay. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good song. Definitely a great R&B song. I mean, R&B, not my favorite genre, but I mean, it's definitely, if I want to, set the mood with, my significant other or something like that, I definitely play it. It's can't go wrong with John B or
Um,
Babyface.
yeah, true.
All right. Let's go with the second one. I think we'll save the best one for last. So let's go second one. So Many Ways. Warren G. The Bad Boys version because this is different from
Oh,
the regular version. This is
I thought you were gonna say the best. I thought this best for last was the Warren G one. I thought you were gonna put the Warren G one as the last one.
Just because it may be one of my favorites doesn't mean
Surprise me with that.
it was the best. I mean, I think we all know. I think if you look at the stats on Spotify when I compared them, I think we all know what the best song is. But I mean, or definitely the best music video for sure. But yeah, Warren G. So many ways. Uh, well, one. I mean, weird. So I already did regulate. Regulate. I did that with Gabe. Episode. It was 75. Episode 75. If you want to check that one out. So he did another version for the song, the Bad Boys version, and it's different because he raps on all three verses. Weeniac isn't on the song at all, and then uh, I think the main difference is that it's clean. Like even like the profanity he had in the version that we heard on Regulate, he cleaned it up a bit for this album. So
Okay.
which is if you do look at the thing, if you've ever seen it in a record store, there was no parental advisory sticker on this, so I guess they wanted to sell as many units as possible, even the kids, even though the film was rated R, which I thought was kind of weird, but
Well,
whatever.
well, maybe yeah, maybe it was a Will Smith perspective
I don't
because
know.
he's kind of been PG-13 or PG.
Yeah, well, it's weird. I mean, that Will Smith isn't even on the soundtrack, so I meant to say that earlier in the
Oh
episode.
yeah,
I thought that was kind of crazy, but yeah, it's yeah, so many ways. I was actually hoping that when Warren G reissued Regulate the G Funk Era the last time, I was hoping he would put this version on that album because you know how they put on like extra tracks like at the end after the album. So I was hoping he'd
yeah,
throw that on there like as a bonus track or something, but I was a little surprised. Like, uh,
yeah. This version is pretty good. I compared to the album, the
yeah,
Regulate album. This version's pretty nice as well.
yeah, I like it because mainly because Warren G raps on all three verses. I mean, nothing personal towards
Yeah,
Maniac or anything, but I just thought it was different
a
perspective.
nice extra verse.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then yeah, nice extra verse, and then and music video is pretty cool too. I like how like you could see the scenes from the movie and all that stuff. So like if you're watching it on TV at home, or makes you want to go out and maybe watch the movie. So I thought that was pretty cool.
oh, okay, nice.
But yeah, this was a good version of the song. And last song, probably the best song on the album. It wasn't one of my favorites, but I mean, just from the numbers I ran, Diana King, Shy Guy. Now, tell me. Now, you've heard this song, right? Maybe, maybe not.
Nah, that's the thing. I haven't.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why like most of the songs. Yeah, most of the songs, the only ones I was familiar with were the ones that the West Coast gangster rap. You know,
All right.
well, I mean, it's like not in the West Coast gangster rap, but I mean like the two other singles or
Yeah.
the Brat B side. That's the one I was familiar with because that was a single during that time on the radio. And Me Against the World. Like, yeah, those are the ones I was pretty much familiar with. And Warren G.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Diana King. It was a good song, but one thing I do want to point out is the music video. I love how Will Smith and Martin Lawrence made an appearance in the video. I don't know if you
Oh
saw it or
yeah,
not, but
I was watching.
yeah, it was
Yeah, I checked it out.
yeah, it was a pretty funny music video, and I love the beginning where Martin was like, "Do you think they're going to think we're cops?" And Will Smith's, "Oh, they'll think I'm a cop. I don't know about you." Or I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice
yeah,
continuation of like the movie. I like it when like characters come and like do like a music video, and pretty much they were still in their like bad boy like characters. They weren't even like playing themselves or anything like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Gave a nice
yeah. That's
perspective.
cool. Yeah, it's cool when they do that. I seen that sometimes on music videos from the '90s where they would just continue on with the movie or
Hmm.
reenact scenes or do an extension of a scene. So it's always cool to see that too.
Yeah, and then as for the song, it's a pretty good song. I mean, it's a nice, good dance R&B song. So definitely upbeat. It was definitely popular during its time. but I'm not too familiar with Diana King, if I'm being perfectly honest. I know she had that song. I know she probably had a few other hits. I know she wasn't a one-hit wonder, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen her name before too, just digging at record stores, but I just never really picked up any of her music to check it out. But yeah, I've seen quite a few of her other records out there.
Yeah, she debuted back in '93. It looks like she's a Jamaican singer-songwriter. Her mixture is a fusion of reggae fusion, and dance. Let's see.
Okay.
And yeah, she had two big hits. Shy Guy, which was that one, and then uh, let's see. I Say a Little Prayer. And I Say a Little Prayer, which I guess she did a remake of, which was from what I'm reading here, My Best Friend's Wedding. If you remember that movie, I guess it was on that soundtrack. But so I mean, she had some hits in her own, on her own right. Ain't Nobody, that was another good one, and then Shy Guy also appeared on her album that came out at the time, Tougher Than Love. So yeah, it seems like a lot of these songs were like on other albums, and we'll get to that in just a sec. But um, any other things you want to talk about the singles terms? You just never heard them.
Um, heard one of three of them, or
Okay,
one of four of them. Yeah,
one for them. The
but yeah,
one,
no, the singles were. Oh, go ahead.
well, yeah, I was gonna say the one I'm not too familiar with was the one we didn't talk about. Never Find Someone Like You. I didn't really hear that one too
Yeah,
much, if I'm being honest. It's just in the movie, but or if I did hear it, way back when, probably forgot about it. But that was the only song I really wasn't familiar with, if I'm being honest.
yeah. I think the single selection was pretty good for the movie. It was a good choice on the selection.
Yeah. All right. So now that the singles are done, what are our favorites? I have a feeling I know what your favorites are.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the favorites were Clouds of Smoke, So Many Ways,
So Many
The
Ways,
Brat,
and
that B side.
the B side. Those were your three
Yeah,
favorites. All right.
and well, Me Against the World.
So you got four.
Yeah.
What song would you cut out of the four?
Um, Probably Me Against the World.
All right. So you're going with So Many Ways, Clouds of Smoke, the B side. All right. Mine
Yeah.
was also the B side. Um, it would, and then the other two, I guess. Yeah, So Many Ways, and yeah, Me Against the World. Yeah, that's just kind of hard to. Yeah, it was one of my favorites on when we did Me Against the World. Um,
Okay.
so I mean, even though we already discussed the album, I mean, yeah, it's been a minute, but yeah, Me Against the World, great song, Dramacido or the Outlaws, who they would later become. Um, yeah, great song. I think this is the first place where I actually heard it, and then yeah, I didn't realize, it kind of dawned on me like a little later on during that time. Oh, Me Against the World. Oh, Me Against the World. So it's like, okay, cool. Like, got the soundtrack, got Me
Yeah.
Against the World there. I don't need to buy the album. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
True.
that was my thought process behind, Me Against the World. But I mean, it does appear at a scene during the movie. So yeah, definitely check out the movie when you get a chance.
Okay.
So, and then as for the B side, the Brat, yes, this was a single. You are right. It was a single off her Functified PG version of the album, I guess. Because we had already did Functified. Functified, we did back episode. Yeah, Netta and I did it. Episode, it was 50. So, yeah, 58. Yeah, episode 58. I really wish they had put that on album because I'm not sure if you're aware, but there is a dirty version of that song. I think it was,
Yeah, I think I remember hearing the second version of it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
that's the
heard
version.
it years back. I think I downloaded it off
Yeah.
LimeWire or Kazaa, one of those. Because I think it was like a
Okay.
B side in record stores. I could be wrong, but I know when Jermaine
I believe it
Dupri,
was.
yeah, yeah, I know when Jermaine Dupri put out that anniversary edition of So Deaf or whatever. Yeah, that the dirty version of that song appeared on there. So it's on streaming
Okay.
services if you do want to check it out. But yeah, but in terms of this version, good song. I mean, Biggie, he came with it. We're great. He and the Brad were really good in terms of this, nice duet. I guess Jermaine Dupri also, if you want to include him, since he sang a little bit on it. But
Yeah.
good song. I wish they had done a music video for it, if I'm being honest. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that would have been good.
yeah. So maybe I guess, like I said, it was a single for that one, but I guess for whatever reason, it ended up on the soundtrack. So we'll take it. Any more thoughts on the B side?
No, just one of my favorites in the '90s as well. When it was on the radio, I would wait for it to come on, record it onto cassette. I always liked the beat to that song right there. That was a
Yeah,
pretty good beat right there.
yeah. That Gap Band sample, they did really well, and
Yeah,
yeah, so that's definitely a great song in terms of that. I mean, the single, from what I've looked on online on Discogs, is pretty expensive. And same thing with the So Many Ways single. That's why I was like, if I can get this for around $40, the whole kind of soundtrack, why not? One song I do want to shout out is well, two more songs I want to shout out. The Bad Boys Reply 95 with Inner Circle and Tech. I thought that was a nice Bad Boys rap song, with Tech, dropping some lyrics there. And then
yeah,
another song that's very hard to find, Call the Police, the Marvel Bonsai mix, Any Kamoze. I think I butchered the name. I know you said it earlier, but yeah, Call the Police. That version of the song is not on streaming services. It's pretty tough to find, actually. But I know they played it at the end of, I think it was 21 Jump Street. So I don't know if you've seen that movie,
oh,
but
okay.
yeah, I think they played it at the end of that one. But yeah, those two would be like, and along with Shy Guy by Diana King. Yeah, those three songs would probably be, definitely honorable mentions. And of course, the theme from the
You
Bad
know,
Boys soundtrack.
you know what song I discovered that these two rappers, one slash producer,
Hmm.
wrote for the song "Boom Boom Boom." You know who wrote it?
Oh, who
It
wrote it?
was it was Daz Dillinger and Juvenile.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, I kind of tripped out on that. I was like, oh dang, I didn't know that. But yeah, they wrote that song "Boom Boom Boom" for the artist.
Well, Juster, yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that's actually a song that's played throughout the movie as well. It was actually,
Okay,
yeah, it was actually a pretty nice song. That'd be another honorable mention too. I mean, not only not my favorite song, but it's a good song. Great, great, great song for
okay,
those of you that
yeah,
haven't seen the movie. So, but yeah, definitely Call the Police. That was definitely a song that, like I said, if this ever gets on streaming services, definitely check it out. Or if you can't find it any other way, please do so. Great, great soundtrack. All
yeah.
right. So there have been no album cuts or expansions. It hasn't been reissued or anything. So I'd say if you can find it, try to find it. Definitely preserve it. Recommendations I have from soundtracks from 1995. We'll do that. Dangerous Minds. I know there's a Friday. I know
One
Friday. I know there's a soundtrack you've been wanting to do for a while. Friday.
Friday, yeah.
I think Gabe wants to do that too. So who knows? We may go into the studio for that one. And then the soundtrack episode number 71 that Gabe and I did, the show, the soundtrack, which was a really good
Okay,
one. The show
okay,
is another soundtrack that it's kind of hard. Not all, the full soundtrack's not on streaming services, so definitely try to find it if you can. Do you have any recommendations?
yeah. I have two recommendations. I'd say "Waiting to Exhale"
Okay, fair
from that
enough.
movie. Yeah, there's a solid R&B lineup on that soundtrack. So I would
Yeah.
say that one and New Jersey Drive.
Oh yeah, New
That was
Jersey
my other.
Drive. Yeah, I have not seen that movie, but I've heard a few of the songs off that soundtrack.
Yeah,
Pretty good. That's one thing that is on streaming services. We may have to actually do that one sooner rather than later, but
yeah. That'd be cool to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I just have to listen to the soundtrack, and then if I can't watch the movie because I have not seen that movie. So
Okay. Yeah. That's
uh,
been years.
yeah. Um. All right. So we got through this episode pretty handily. Any closing thoughts? Are you gonna watch a movie now? Now that we've talked about the soundtrack.
Yeah. Regardless, it's been one of those movies where I've been wanting to watch, haven't had. Well, like when I do come around to watching a movie, I kind of just it slips my mind. But since we covered the soundtrack, now I'm more inclined to check it out now and sit down and watch it.
Yeah, I think you'll really
Because
enjoy
yeah,
it.
I've always heard Bad Boys was like a funny movie back then. I
Yeah,
just never came around to watching it.
yeah, it's definitely one of the better buddy cop films, if you want to put it in that category. Great action comedy. So it doesn't
Okay,
take
cool.
itself too seriously, but it definitely it could be serious at times, but it definitely did have its funny parts. Martin Lawrence
Okay,
and Will Smith, they were in their prime during that time, so it's
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's why I've always heard good things about it because they were, like you said, at the prime in the '90s during that time, and it seems like a cool movie to check out. So I'll give it a chance.
All right, for sure. I'm glad to hear that. All right, so you've been watching or listening to episode 104 of Listen in 3D. Let us know your favorite tracks in the comments, and just if you've watched the movie, if it's one of your favorite movies or whatnot. For Ray, Vandal Society, I'm Justin Too Tall for You Fool. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. See you all in the next one. Peace out. Oh, peace out.
Peace.